Why don't you touch on for a moment what your day's like reaching out to your audience and letting them know what you're up to and using all this?
Okay, well, when we first started Black Eyed Peas, we shopped, and nobody really wanted to sign us because, our music wasn't the traditional. So we thought going out to college kids and playing colleges was the way to get heard. Our theory was, let's play colleges because eventually these college kids will graduate and intern at record companies, and when they graduate, they'll take us out in the world with them. And our second record companies, was really gearing up for us to sell through the roofs.
Right.
And we had Macy Gray on the album, and our album came out in 2000. And that college fan base that we had all had high-speed internet in their dorms, and Napster was introduced. And everybody, came to our shows, but we weren't selling records. So ever since 2000, I was really, really, really involved in technology and connecting to our fans. So we built our site, our blackeyedpeas.com. But the thing that's cool about our site now is because now, I can make music, instrumentals, and Music Cane. We hooked up with Music Cane, and now I could sell it as a producer straight the day that I do it. I could put it up on the site right then and there.
And how does this coexist with with the Interscope deal? So there's music that you put through Interscope, and there's music that you're selling direct, or is this?
What is music as a producer and friends that I have that do music? Right. So there's some people that are anti-record companies.
Right.
This technology allows artists that want to put their music out and make a living and have it for sale instantly.
So do they then not need a record company?
Well, you're always going to need a record company. They build superstars. What this technology does, it allows you, if you're into social networking and you have a MySpace account or Friendster's account, you could take the HTML code and have it there on your site right then and there.
So the time from creating this to getting it up on your site for sale is hours, minutes?
Minutes.
How else are you using the technology, for instance, at your shows or through blogs, through other ways to basically continually connect with your fans?
Oh, I say, for example, we have a show in London, or Shepherd's Bush, or something like that, and I tell the crowd to say, Shepherd's Bush, Shepherd's Bush, right? And they're saying Shepherd's Bush, and those people are there. I could record that from the show onto our board.
Right.
Before people leave, while we're going encore, it probably takes about 30 minutes for us to get back on stage. In that 30 minutes, I could record it on my Pro Tools, put it on this computer, go online, upload it straight to the Music Cane thing, and when they get home, they could have a portion of the show that they were part of, right, that they sang, for sale. The things that we're about to do with our website, blackeyedpeas.com, is we're going to allow fans, it's just going to be an expensive price to pay for the bandwidth, allow fans from their cell phone to upload things onto the blackeyedpeas.com to interact with friends that they meet from being Black Eyed Peas fans.
How far can you stretch the relationship with a major label to let you experiment in the areas that you want to experiment? I know Jimmy Iovine is incredibly forward-thinking. What are the walls that you hit sometime, though? What do you want to do where it's actually said, you know what, that's a little bit too far?
Have our music up there for free for people to listen to.
Okay.
All our music, but how can you sell CDs if they're listening to it for free online?
Okay. So you're okay with that?
Yeah, because all you have to do is embed some type of banners where you're getting paid through advertisement, so that you can offset that with banner ads.
If you could start with with a blank sheet of paper and create the label of the future, what's it like? What's your dream relationship?
Where you allow the consumer to share in the profits right alongside the artist for sharing the music. Say, for example, a fan that likes, Pump It. She makes her version of Pump It on a video. She puts it up on blackeyedpeas.com. She's selling it. She's making money off of the music that she likes as well. I think that's what's missing in the music industry, is keeping the consumer and the fan involved in the money stream. They're the new promoters.
Mm-hmm.
They're the new Tower Records. Tower Records doesn't exist anymore, you know. So now the fans are that. They're the new distributors. So you got to keep them involved, incentivize them, and keep them a part of the growth of their band that they're supporting, and all that other stuff.
You, as a band, Black Eyed Peas, have done a lot with advertising and been featured your songs in a lot of advertising. Do you think that bands are adopting that as a new avenue to launch music?
Before I was making money with Black Eyed Peas, I bought my mom a house with Dr. Pepper. You know, we did a Dr. Pepper commercial, did 30 seconds worth of music, and I got like $500,000. And at that point in time, we put out like 2 hours worth of music. And then our second record came out, went straight to the internet, and I was wondering how am I going to pay my mom's house note. Ad agencies spend millions and millions and millions of dollars a year on music to market the product. And there was always a misconception that bands don't want to mess with ad agencies. So I wanted to fix that one, so I started hanging out with ad agencies. And when I started figuring out the science of how that worked, we applied that same stuff with Black Eyed Peas with the first iPod commercial. Because what it does, they offset monies that record companies don't spend to market the group.
You had a little bit of a backlash about a year ago where you were getting teased a bit about the amount of tie-ins that you'd done. Did that make you reassess what you were doing, or was that just, did you laugh it off?
What if they're not talking about you, then you're not doing anything. You just got to stay true to what you feel is right, you know?
Right.
And to us, that was right. That was a way to get our music out there.
You feel pretty strongly that corporate tie-ins can have a lot of good.
Just as long as everybody's connected.
Yeah.
It's bad when you get a corporate tie-in and you just walk away with a whole bunch of money.
Right.
You know, if you do a corporate tie-in and it helps your brand out and it keeps the audience involved in what you're doing, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you think websites like MySpace should be paying sort of licenses for having music on them to the artists or to the labels or publishers?
Most definitely. I think and YouTube, if I performed in China and I slipped and fell and some lady took a picture, a little film of it with her phone and it's up on MySpace or YouTube and they got like 1 million views and right next to it was a Chrysler ad, I should be getting some of that Chrysler ad money.
What's your forecast for the demise of physical product? Do you think we're 5 years away, 2 years away?
I have a CD player in my Mac.
Yeah.
I don't put CDs in it. I think we're maybe 5 years off before people don't care.